Folks, check it out. Today we are going to talk about something that I'd say is probably the most requested video that people have been asking me to do. I've been promising it for a long time and just haven't made it around to it. But this is going to be the collection of my quietest fidgets that I can use at work, at my desk, or that I use during meetings, things like that, that aren't going to bring attention or annoy coworkers. So without further ado, in no particular order, we're going to start with the Cosmo X, or I think now it's going by the XX. Now I've got a little bit of crunch in there, but that is not usual. I actually added really small magnets on both sides for a little more action. But generally it's just these larger magnets. If you can see those spaces right there, but then there are smaller spaces around there. So mine has a little bit of crunch, but it's still really pretty quiet. This is a G10 body. Generally they come in like stainless steel, or you can find PEI or more exotic stuff. But this is a great, like, really quiet, fun fidget that I'm able to use. Generally it's like my airport fidget. All right. So 42 Cosmo X or XX now. The classic, this is a Metal Toys Bubble, and one of their exotic flavors here. But I have a zipper plate in there. It's actually the plate that came with this new Top D. But very quiet. Even a regular bubble is really pretty quiet, pretty unassuming. Not going to draw a whole lot of attention, especially if you're like, you've got it in your pocket, something like that. I really think Metal Toys pieces are really pretty good. This is the Top F. Right? You can make them louder. But you kind of hold on this middle button and you can get that haptic feedback in your thumb from this middle part that bounces up and down. And still pretty quiet. Speaking of Metal Toys, spinners are always a great option. Right? You're going to get some fun and some good use out of that without really bringing too much attention to yourself. Now, if you're like me, I know spinners kind of have the stink around them where people are like, oh, a fidget spinner, because that was the big craze for so long that people really assume or the silliness of fidgets is tied to spinners a lot of times, if that makes sense. And so people see like, oh, a fidget spinner, boy oh boy. But they're still really great, and obviously carrying around something a little more premium than one of those little plastic ones that everyone had for a while there. Let's talk about novel carry. Now, these are the little mini tiles, and they've got these little 3D printed plates. Very snappy. They're a one-click. Right, but these things don't make like any noise. This is just a 3D printed mini tile that I got. And then this one they made for me to match my Delta. These things are a great slider that is going to make zero noise. And really, the Delta itself, these have the textured plates, so they make a little more noise. But you can get a Delta with these 3D printed smooth plates, or even the advanced polymer smooth plates. Wonderfully quiet. All right. Moving on. This is the, oh boy, I'm going to forget the name. Yep, I'm going to have to put the name up there. But this is a company in the Ukraine. These ones are made of micarta. Now, I bought there's the screw I was looking for. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I bought a second set from somebody, so usually it comes as a 2 set. I bought an extra one, so I have a 4 stack, or I can do a 3 stack. But these are micarta. Totally silent. Dominoes. Pritsfidgets? No, Prits? No, it's not. All right. Awesome. Very quiet. I'll put the name in the link. How about the Gow Owl? This is a classic piece that you can really get up at the top, spin it around. Very quiet. Couple up and downs. You know, you're getting a little metal on metal, but really fairly quiet. Now, if you want like totally silent, and this might be the only version that's still available online, but the PEI version, it's totally lightweight. Barely makes any noise. That's a great one. The Chill Pill. Now this one you can get in different materials, or you could. You'd have to look on the secondary market because I don't think they're available on his site anymore. Something about the magnet size. Somebody let me know in the comments when I brought it up in a different video that they are not available anymore. So yeah, but secondary on the Fidgetthings Facebook group, you can get plastic chill pills. They had 3D printed ones that I'm sure somebody would would sell, and you can really use those with zero noise. This one's blackened aluminum, and I just got like a full set. Really nice. All right. How about these little guys that I found on Aliexpress? Somebody had posted in one of the Facebook groups that they got these little blocks and they were phenomenal. And they're just really strong magnets. You can see they've got some wear and tear. But, you know, usually I'm not into this stuff. Like if it's just like the cheapo $6 Aliexpress buy, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to keep that forever. But these are really kind of addicting, just how strong they are. Bam. You know, it can be a lot of fun. And there's so many ways to maneuver them or mess with them and bunch them up and then make a nice shape out of it. The only thing that bugs me is it didn't come as a set of, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, so that that would have been finished off. But set of 10 is fine. You get it like that, and then you can push it to that edge, which is fun. So those are really cool. I'll see if I can find them to put a link in the description. The WJ or WM secret. I think it's WM. So in the dense mode, obviously you're not going to put it in standard, so that's awfully loud. But flip that switch, and I can run this mechanical under my desk, you know, without anybody noticing. And it's actually set up the way I wanted it, which was to make a little bit of noise on this side, on the dense side, but you don't have to. You can set it up to be pretty weak, so you just have a nice little mechanical sound. All right. The Elementum from Axiom. This thing just has an incredible trickle sound that I love. Very easy to use this. And it's a little noisier right now because I've got these black, I don't remember the material, because it wasn't silicone nitride. They used something different, but if you put like the white Delrin or Teflon balls in there, this thing's going to be really quiet and it's still going to give you a great feel. Speaking of Axiom, the pod, which I've outfitted here with the white Delrin and then some stainless steel balls just so it still had a little bit of weight, but you also get the kind of reaction between those two materials. And this piece is great. If you turn it over, you can make it a little noisier. You turn it that way, you just get a really nice smooth feel. They also have a new one that's like a Knuckle Roller, so it's just got 2 of the ball bearings and then it looks like a rubber band. That one looks a lot of fun. I haven't gotten my hands on it yet though. The Strata from Rage 3D, and then the Little Strata, which was actually quieter than the Strata, but these are incredibly quiet. And you know, you see that when I do this, I can make it make noise, but it doesn't have to. That's just how I'm choosing to use it right now, but you could use it like this. And you're not going to make any noise. Speaking of Rage, that OG peanut has a little bit of crunch, but still a very soft amount. So it makes it very easy to use in an office space. And speaking of Rage, the Chroma is a really cool slider. And while it can be a little noisy on the up and down, you can flip and fan all day without anybody noticing. All right. The Rebar from 3DC Printing on Etsy. This thing's just a 1-row magnet piece. Right? Oops. So that's a lot of fun and very quiet. The M01 from OtterEDC. You can run this one as a 2-stack, or it has the sandwich piece there. But it can be a very quiet slider. Now on the up and down, or the down, it does have a really loud kind of clapping. But that's a slider where, you know, maybe on the weekend, you're at home, you make it crunchy, and then you go to work. Nice and quiet. Okay? That's the M01 from OtterEDC. The Surge Wrapped Light from HapticEDC is very quiet. Now the OtterEDC wrapped light version is also pretty quiet, but it's these wrapped light plates that, unless you make it crunchy on purpose or buy it crunchy from OtterEDC, you know, it'll come pretty quiet, and those plates are very smooth. So they're not going to produce too much sound unless you really want them to. Okay? You can hear that that's even pretty muted. Okay? I've got this Fidgetthings, Fidgetthings coin as well. It's a coin fig, I think he calls them. Now this one was a one-off kind of special edition version that I don't think he makes anymore, but I do think he still makes ones that have like a brass plate in this same version. He's got a couple different inserts that you can configure, and those can be very quiet as well. Then I've got this Gow, like rich coin. Which is pretty quiet. It's supposed to run with 2 balls on the tracks, but I just kind of use it as this kind of butterfly knife feeling swoosh back thing that it does. That's a really good one. OtterEDC has this kind of offset, I think it's called like the super dense insert. Now it's got a click at the end. But you can hear how smooth and quiet that one is. So that's a very good insert as well. What else did I have? Oh, last but not least, this was just one that somebody sent me. Really, the 3D printed stuff, you can get a lot of good quiet fidgets. Somebody at work made this one for me. Just looks like a little Game Boy. Push that switch. So if you're into 3D printing and you're looking for something quiet, take a look at the print files that are out there and see, you know, you find something like this. That gives you something to do, almost like a clicking of a pen, but very quiet. Boom. All right. There you go, folks. There are some quiet fidgets for you. Hopefully one of these works for you and you can take it to the office. Bye.